when we were doing our community visit, we found it that most of the mothers in this community, in this mountainous area, could express a lot of challenges. That's why we had to come in and see how we can help them, and then we see how they can be supported at least to sustain their families.
When we are training the communities about rocket stoves, for example here, we're going to train them about the rocket Lorena stove, how to construct it. The first thing is you get the clay. After getting the clay, we also get the grass or sawdust or any other insulator, but usually in communities not to spend, we use grass. So after getting the grass, we chop it and then mix with the clay and also mix with the water. And after mixing all these, we map out where our stove is going to be. Usually our stove is put in a shelter, like a kitchen, where the weather will not interfere with the cooking and will also not spoil the stove. So we map it out, we take measurements based on the size of the family, and afterwards we start molding the stove. And when you're molding the stove, it is very easy. You take measurements of the biggest saucepan in our home, okay, which is mostly used. You take its diameter at the bottom, then afterwards you give some small allowances, about 10 to 15 centimeters of the sides, then you start molding the stove. And when we are constructing this stove, for example, in a community here, we use locally available molds, and usually we use the banana stems, so that they create for us the space for the firewood magazine or firewood inlet, the air inlet, and the combustion chamber. As simple as that. So basically, in a community where people are living at less than $1 per day, we look at materials that are really cheap but are going to give something standard. Yeah. For example, the clay can easily be got locally, the grass can easily be got locally, and maybe all for free. Yeah. And then you need the skills only, and you have the stove, which is very efficient and helping compared to the local one or the traditional one, which you call the 3-stone firewood stove.
Nisima wichote chibankolire mwibale muninyo kuja kunyaba kunyondekera ekyoto nsemeribo muno kurore munkolire ekintu ekyomugaso kandi kirikuja kunyamba hanku kunyamba buli kimwe amakara nisima semeriyo muno abukwa munyire mu kyoto ekikuru kibenki ntarabaniza muno omwika ubeni gwiza mwingi muno ngetarabaniza nukira nokutaha mu kifuba atati nisima kwa nindora natunge kyoto ekirungi muno mwika tukuja konga kuntarabaniza sima nko ku kyoto kikuja kuyamba nyowe kunigesa nko na mara kwega nekitebe cyange nko kutwegere nabo nkije kutuyambi twena kura twayegera tumu twakwata twakora mulimo.
This kind of cooking is firewood. It is an energy saving, whereby the firewood you put in, they are not equivalent to the one which you could use if you had used the stones. Then another thing, we are training them these things so that at least they can create more jobs. They can be empowered, because like the money we gave them, because according to the story which they were narrating to us in their mining place, all these people you have been seeing, they are doing stone quarrying as an activity, whereby after getting one basin of stones, they give you 500 shillings, Ugandan shillings. And now to make like 50,000, it means you shall have carried very many basins, or you shall have carried very many basins of stones, whereby these women, they are old, and again they produce much, because like when it comes to producing, the one who has produced less is in 6, but most of them they in 10, 12, 14, and when it comes to that, they are the leaders now in their families to do everything, contributing to food, paying school fees for their daughters, and the only way to make money is to quarry stones. So I see this is one way of giving them a skill which will support their families to get more money, more than they have been getting. This is the best option. Thank you very much, CSN, and this Mr. Benedict for the good training to our mothers, because these are going to work as ambassadors in these places or in the mountainous area, so that at least every home can transform from using the stones now to use the modern technology of cooking food. Thank you very much.